Hello and welcome to my Christmas trip in Bertie. Today I am off to York, which is in North Yorkshire in the northeast of England. They have an amazing Christmas market. I've only ever been to York once and it's never been around Christmas. So I am really excited to see their Christmas market. Everyone hypes it up every single year, so really excited for that. For people who don't know what York is, I imagine there's people from other countries who have no idea, probably Southerners who have no idea either because they've never been up north. York is like a really famous traditional looking place. You might have heard of the Shambles. People say it looks a lot like Diagon Alley of Harry Potter. I will show this later on. It is very cool and also usually very busy. So York is a very old cathedral city. I think it originates from around Roman times. There is a wall that goes around the city and you can walk around it, which is very cool. I don't know if it's complete, like you can only do sections or something, but it's very cool. I've walked part of it before. I don't know whether I'll be doing it today. It might be a bit too cold and windy, but we shall see. So you might be thinking, going to York, which is a city, going to be tricky in a motorhome. I have looked this up. I don't really fancy going into the centre of a city. It's going to be super busy and I don't know where I'll be able to park. So I've decided go park and ride. There are loads of park and rides around York. I think there's probably about 4 or 5 of them. Quite a few are motorhome friendly. Just have a look on York Council website, which is where I've looked. The only one that didn't have a barrier for height, I think the barriers on most of them are about 2.1 metres. The only one that didn't have a barrier is the Designer Outlet. They have buses running like every 15 minutes, even on a Saturday, which it is today. So it looks great. I'm going to try the Designer Outlet, see how well it works, whether it is super busy, it might be too busy, I don't know. But I will report back on that. I am super excited to get there, so let's get on the road. As you can see, the Designer Outlet Park and Ride in York was super busy. Christmas market season, just horrendous for parking. Even for a small motorhome, I was super lucky to get an end spot. I don't know what I would have done if I didn't get this spot. I probably would have had to move on to another park and ride to see if they had anything. But yeah, I was very lucky to get a parking spot. I would love to know where the actual dedicated motorhome parking spots are in this car park. So we're currently at the Designer Outlet Park and Ride. I could not find the specific camper van spots, motorhome spots, so it's quite tight. Thankfully found an end spot so we can get out of the side door quite easily. But yeah, maybe something to note in future. I saw this cute little camper van stall that was selling hot chocolate and I obviously had to get it. It was amazing. Oh, and you can't forget the Christmas dinosaur, very famous. I have never been to a Christmas market as busy as York Christmas Market. For those who are wondering, no, it is not less busy during the day, it is exactly the same and the crowds were insane. There was definitely hundreds of people here. At least Bertie is easy to spot in the car park. Good morning from a very windy Harrogate. I've moved on from York. I thought while I'm down in North Yorkshire, might as well go and see what kind of Christmas things they've got in Harrogate. So I've moved along to Harrogate. I'm now parked on Stray Lane, which I have parked here before. It's a very, oh wow, it is so windy. It is insanely windy this morning. So Stray Lane is a really good spot. It's always quiet. It's Sunday morning, the kids are out playing football, it's very chill, and overall just a very quiet night to camp over. So I've stayed there overnight, drove straight from York to Harrogate. It took about 40 minutes, and I'm going to have a look around Harrogate this morning, see what Christmas things they've got, and maybe move on, stop somewhere on the way home. As a massive Narnia fan as a child, I absolutely love this window. Amazing. And I would hate to be on this Ferris wheel in this wind. So after finishing at Harrogate, it was really windy there. We've gone on to Ormsby Hall. I'm going to go and see what the lights are like for Christmas here. Apparently they have a fairy tale theme, so very excited about that. I will show you as we go. Also, just a quick note, it's really easy to get in a motorhome. It's a one-track road getting in. I think it's a different road to get out, so should be fine. And as you can see, loads of parking. Bertie is in the distance over there, and there's no height restriction, so it's all fine. Ormsby Hall is just outside of Middlesbrough in the northeast, so pretty central if you want to be around the coast. Short visit to get there, so yeah, really nice. And so brings a close to our Christmas trip in Bertie. I've had a wonderful time. I've been to Christmas markets that I've never been to before. I had a blast. I have to say, out of both the Christmas markets, York and Harrogate, I think I probably liked Harrogate the best. Mainly because York is extremely busy during Christmas time with all the Christmas markets there. It is like the biggest one that I've ever been to. There must have been about 100 stalls there, which is crazy. I mean, I've been to Newcastle Christmas Market, which is in the northeast. I've been to Edinburgh Christmas Market, which is a really big Christmas market, but still not as big as York. York was on a different level, and because it was on a different level, you had absolutely hundreds of people. I had to carry Simba, my little dog, around with me for most of the time around the Christmas markets, and only really put him down when we were walking in the streets away, looking at shops. So yeah, very busy. I would say don't go on a weekend like I did if you can help it. It's definitely going to be a lot less busy on a weekday, but obviously you can't really do that if you work full time. So yeah, it was still good. I enjoyed it. It was a really cool experience, and I loved seeing all the lights when it got dark. So it was really cool. I don't know if I'd go back again, to be honest. I did use the park and ride. The one I used was the designer outlet, which didn't have a barrier to enter. A lot of the other park and rides for York had barriers, which were like 2.1 metres high. So I went for the designer one because I thought it'd be easier. I wouldn't have to buzz for someone to come and open the gate for me. So went to that one. So I even asked a attendant as I was driving in, do you know where the spots are for motorhomes to park up? He guided me to what they call the blue zone. I drove around there. One, it was packed. There was no motorhomes parked there. I could not find a single spot that was dedicated as motorhome parking, which was really strange. It definitely said there was going to be spots online. I don't know if they were in like a different zone. There was a lot of different zones. So I was quite lucky because my motorhome obviously fits in a normal parking bay, meaning that I just got an end spot. And thankfully that was fine. Other than that, I would say if you have a really long motorhome, it's going to be tricky because, one, I can't really give guidance on where to park because I have no idea where I was supposed to park. But it was fine overall. I mean, there's a shopping centre there. Obviously, it's a designer outlet. It is a shopping centre, basically. They had their own kind of little mini Christmas markets and like a fairground style thing, which was really cool. That was nice to see. But yeah, the park and ride part of it was easy enough to use. Once you got parked up, that was fine. It was free to park there, and then you went to the park and ride bus stop and paid for the ticket into York. So I think it was about like $3.70 return. So it wasn't really that bad, I thought. It could have been worse. The park and ride itself was good. They had a lot of buses on, so you were only really waiting like 10 minutes maximum between buses. So it was definitely good. A lot better if you're not there on a weekend, I would say. So yeah, I would still recommend York, but having gone straight from York to Harrogate, because I knew that straight in was a good place to park the motorhome, and then having a look around Harrogate, not really knowing how many Christmas markets they would have, I was really surprised, and it was really nice. It was a lot more chill atmosphere. Still had a lot of the same kind of stalls, so it was still a nice look around. And they had absolutely loads of Christmas lights up, lots of Christmas trees decorated. So yeah, I would still recommend York, but I would say try Harrogate because that was really good. And I was really surprised with it being a Saturday night that I was staying over in Harrogate. There was only, I think, 3 motorhomes there. So yeah, it wasn't as busy as I thought. Really good, and I really enjoyed myself. And then obviously on the way home, I was going to Ormsby Hall, which is a National Trust site. If you have children, I would say 100% go there at Christmas. They had a fairy tale theme and it was absolutely beautiful. I enjoyed it thoroughly. And there were so many children as you were going around and they were absolutely having the time of their lives, including me. So yeah, I would recommend that. It was a nice experience too, if you're in the area. But yeah, overall, that is probably going to be my last trip of this year. Things will probably start getting busy now, family time, sorting out presents, things like that. If you do celebrate Christmas or if you don't celebrate it, Either way, I hope you have a happy holiday season and Merry Christmas to everyone. I'll be back in the new year with more adventures with Bertie. So I hope you stay tuned for that, and I will see you guys later. Bye!